All right, I just want to make sure everybody can see this.
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
all right,
not the presentation. I'm seeing your email.
great. Okay, so it's not working then. How about now?
Yep. Now we can see it.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me on talking about the lessons that we have learned from 2020, what we can expect in 2021. And I had a lot of fun working on this workshop because my goal was to bring as much positivity as I possibly can, take the lessons that we learned from last year and say, okay, how can we learn from them and do better and be better next year? So my name is Olga St. Pierre. I am a local real estate agent right here in our community. I just wanted to share with you a couple of things about me. I have been in the industry and serving our clients in New Jersey and Pennsylvania for the last 11 going on 12 years. Our team mission is truly to help anyone with the plan and the budget become a homeowner. And once you become a homeowner, we help you be a sustainable and a responsible homeowner and a member of our community. We help our clients move anywhere in the United States and Canada. So if you know of anyone or if you are thinking about moving yourself, please reach out to us. We're happy to help you. Also, we are your virtual yellow pages. Nowadays, our concierge service is anywhere from contractors to professionals to decluttering to some muscle. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us and let us know how we can assist you, because we are here, we are always in the community, and we're always looking forward to helping locally and also helping local businesses, especially in today's challenging times. So that's a little bit about what we do. And let me jump right in. So what I wanted to do is kind of wrap up how last year went. And then we're going to talk about what do we do so we can make the new year better. Okay, so here are the lessons that I kind of took on my personal level, as well as a member of our community, as well as someone in the real estate profession, because I study how the market is and how the community is just about every day. So number one, I think the biggest thing that we learned last year is that the change can happen overnight, whether it's small or drastic, right? And most of the time, probably 99% of the time, is out of our control. One of the things that I learned from someone a couple years ago that has really helped me in my perspectives, because I am by nature a fixer and a problem solver for people. That's what we do a lot in our business, is that really we as individuals can only control two things, right? Two things is how we think and what we do, right? Our thoughts and our actions. So I chose to focus on those things. And I think that helped me get through the year, a little bit, day by day, hour by hour sometime. So, and that's what I wanted to share with you. So just a couple of things that I also noticed that are in the real estate market in our community. A lot of people were moving out of city. I talked to some clients that are in New York City. I have a lot of clients that are living in Philadelphia as well. And what they were seeing is people were migrating outside into the suburbs because they were looking for more square footage. They were looking for space for their office, right? We now need space for our kids to be learning from home. And people were really looking forward for backyard space to give themselves a change of scenery and to have some fresh air. What we are going to be seeing for 2021 are going to be the evictions coming up for non-payment or rent. Those things are coming. Issues with being behind on the mortgage. When I was following this closely, which was more of a nationwide numbers, the statistics was that 1 out of 5 homeowners was behind on their mortgage. So right now, it has been approved that the protection has been extended until the end of January of 2021. And then we don't know what's going to happen after that. So a couple of things that we discuss that can help you with mortgage foreclosure, and some tips and ideas are in my foreclosure class that I had to dust off and put together from back in my days of mid 2000s. So please check our schedule to see when the next one is, because it is becoming more and more relevant to help those homeowners that are finding themselves behind. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality. Next is, keep in mind, the cost of contractor labor and materials have skyrocketed again. So if you are thinking about doing home projects, whether now or later, you will be surprised. And that's why I'm running this by you now. Don't be surprised, but the prices have skyrocketed, which means that your cost of your improvements and your projects is going to be a lot more than what you think, which means that your home renovation projects, some of them may be put on hold, but at the same time, I always suggest for you to do your home projects in the winter time when the contractors are not as busy versus spring and summer. So what we saw, which was not I don't think anyone could predict or expect, and I felt the same way, was that coronavirus has put a lot of the home buying and home selling process on a really, really slow trickle. And what I anticipated happening was that things were really going to slow down because a lot of people would be nervous and scared and unsure of what this pandemic was going to mean in the real estate market. What I don't think anyone saw coming is what actually happened, is that as soon as the stay-at-home restrictions have lifted, people in droves started running because they really wanted to take advantage of these low interest rates, right? So the reality and the fact is that the rates are still low and we are not anticipating them going anywhere, which means that the demand for the homes is still very, very high, yet there are very few homes on the market. And what that means is that sellers are getting amazing prices for their homes. They're extremely happy. And it is not a very good time for buyers to buy because they're overpaying. It's getting to be very, very stressful because they are losing homes in multiple bidding situations. And it's just very difficult to buy a home thinking clearly about what your facts and what your options are. And buying a home emotionally, I never say is a good idea. So COVID has created a huge demand on housing, and we did not see that. We expected that cautious slowdown, and it did not happen. So that is still in progress. There's still shortage of homes right now, and we are still seeing that going into the first quarter of next year. So a couple of things that what I saw happen, and I want to stress to you, is the number one lesson is because of the change that can happen overnight. And I saw that many people were not unprepared. From talking to a lot of my friends and some family members and clients, is that people did not have enough savings to get them through the difficult time. My rule of thumb when I try to help people is to have at least 3 to 6 months a rainy day fund. And that could include things that you may need to do for your car repairs, for home repairs, for emergencies, right? You never know if your heater or your air conditioner is going to give out. So we have this really handy sort of, think of this as like a bingo, right? And we have a PDF that we can send to you. You can share this with your friends and family. It's a very easy way of filling out a square every week. Okay, how much money do you want to save this week? Pick a square and then cross that off. And what's going to happen is at the end of 12 months, you are going to have $10,000 in the bank. Okay, it is not complicated. It's easy to understand. So if you want to have a copy of this as an easy way to help you get started on your path of savings, please let me know, and we're happy to put a copy of this in the mail or email that over to you. So number one lesson for next year, let's save some money so that way we can sleep better at night. Okay. So another way of doing this, right, is a $10 a week, which I'm going to actually share with you in the next slide, right? So the $10,000 bingo is number one. I always suggest for this rainy day fund is for you to open up a separate savings account, right? And there's a couple of other ways that you can save money and put and create that rainy day fund, okay? And I want you to create that savings account and let it be and forget that it's there. It is your last resort fund when you're absolutely strapped and you need it, okay? If you got a bonus at the end of 2020, don't spend it, put it in your savings account. That's a great way for you to start funding your rainy day fund. If you got a raise, take that extra money that you're going to get and on the regular basis, put that money into your savings account. When the tax refund time comes in April and you're getting a refund, don't spend it, put that into your savings account. Right? Having a tax refund or having a bonus is actually one of the other two strategies that I share with clients who are trying to save up for down payment and closing costs to buy their first home. So that's another great strategy. Next, it is not fun. However, I'm going to encourage you to review your expenses in 2020. You can go back and look at your credit card bills. If you don't want to go into detail month by month, just do a glance every quarter. What happened? What did you spend money on? Okay. What was unnecessary? Then take a look at your most important expenses, right? These are expenses that come first that you absolutely need to live on, right? And those include the roof over your head, whether it's a rent or mortgage, it's your utilities and your food. Everything else can be considered as additional and something that you may want, okay? And then when you look at your expenses on things that you wanted to buy versus things that you had to have in order to survive, take a look and see how you can make changes in 2021. I'm not asking you to make anything drastic because we know that drastic changes are the hardest to make, but do something small, do a little bit of change, and then focus on it every day. Yes, I am still a big proponent of refinancing your mortgage if you are currently a homeowner. If your current interest rate is 3.75% or higher, reach out to me and I can make you some suggestions and put you in touch with some excellent lender resources. What that is going to do is a lot of the times, the clients that have done this in the last 6 months of last year were able to reduce their monthly payment by as much as $400. They were able to have no closing costs to do that. And overall, it just helped them tremendously because of the hard times that we're living in. Now, and also I want to mention that a lot of people said, well, I'm just going to go talk to my local bank. Your current servicer who actually services your loan may not be the best resource for refinancing. It definitely pays to shop around. So if you're looking for some recommendations, please do let me know. Next, I am just asking you to be more lenient and more patient. I have noticed that over the last year, and I totally get it and I understand, people have become very bitter, very negative, just overall, finding things to blame on others rather than taking responsibility for some things, right? The mail has been slow. Amazon is not honoring some of their prime promises, as an example. We see more crowds. I see crazy people on the road. And what I have promised myself as well, and I'm encouraging you to do the same thing, is just take a step back and take a breather and take a breath. And before you do something or say something, just stop and think for a second. Because if someone is speeding down the road and you say to yourself, oh my God, this person is just crazy, the way he's driving, we don't know other people's stories, right? Because maybe there's someone in the hospital and they're trying to rush to get to that person before something bad happens. So just be mindful about the fact that some other people may be going through really tough times, and just take a step back and be patient about it. Next, let's talk about focusing on our mental health. This has been a huge topic in the last year, and I wanted just to touch upon that and give you some small ideas, right? These are some of the things that I chose to focus on myself. And these are what I'm going to suggest to you as well. Choose and reconnect with some of your hobbies, right? So what I wanted to do is that, Zoom, we have been glued to our screens, to our video services, sitting on the chair. And what I found is that if you scroll through Eventbrite, which is the platform where you can look and see what other people, what other virtual workshops that are being offered, has tons of free classes, right? So think of this as an opportunity to do something that you've never done before because it is now offered to you on a virtual basis. So I have found some classes on how to make free, when you have the foam in your coffee, someone was teaching how to do that, right? Because it's not as easy as it looks. I personally signed up for a Broadway history class that I am taking next week, right? They're talking about a couple of different Broadway shows and how they came about. I thought that was interesting. So think of Zoom as not something that you have to do and you have to spend time in front of, but also think of something else fun that you can do for yourself to help you and bring joy to your brain, right? To have emotional enjoyment. The same thing, YouTube. You guys, you can get lost on YouTube, right? And YouTube is free. Any kind of hobby you can think of, woodworking, pottery, drawing. I subscribe to this channel where they draw using cotton balls and like metal brush and things, and the stuff that they make out of those everyday items is unbelievable. And I said to myself, you know what? One Saturday, my girls and I are going to sit down with a computer. We're going to try it because we're just going to have some fun with it, whether it's going to look good or not. And also create time to relax, right? If you want to have some apps on your phone, a couple of them I can recommend is Calm and Headspace. If you again head on YouTube, you can actually find a channel that is going to play relaxing music that you can keep on background for 2 hours at a time, for an hour at a time, right? So the resources are there. You just need to decide that you need to use those resources, right? And they're all free. Next, focus on your physical health, okay? The issue that we have right now is because we're working from home. That means that we're moving less, right? We're not getting dressed. We're not getting out of the house. We're not walking to the car. We're not walking into the building. We're not walking and moving enough, okay? My suggestion is take a 10-minute break. It is a physical movement. It is a mental break. Get some fresh air, and it's 100% great for you. Okay. You can literally walk like 10 minutes. I figured for me is to walk to the end of my street, and I live like in the middle of my street. So it's 10 minutes to walk from my house to the end of the street and come back to my house. It's about 10 to 15 minutes. What I also implemented that I'm very happy about last year is I meet with a friend of mine once a week, usually on the Wednesday or Thursday morning, and we walk one loop, which is a path in the park, okay? And the loop is 2.5 miles, and it takes us about 45 minutes. And I found this more than just physical health for me because I have gotten closer to someone. That's one. Two, it's almost like a therapeutic session because we talk about each other's problems and things that are bothering us and how work is going and how our kids adapting. And it helps to hear that someone else is going through some of the same challenges as me. And a lot of the times she gives me some good ideas, right? So it actually energizes me and helps me get through my day and then helps me get through my week. Next, find a physical activity that is fun for you. I personally took up yoga, right? I do yoga almost every day. And sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 30 minutes, right? Depending on how much time I have. But what I have found is that if things are bothering me on my mind, when I start doing physical activity, you have to literally the brain has to focus on the physical activity that it's doing, right? So that it kind of takes the mental break and then focuses on physical. Biking, running, walking, Zumba. Again, you can find videos on YouTube to follow. It's free and you can throw it on your TV. And again, 5 to 10 minutes a day is absolutely better than nothing. And I think a big part that I wanted to make a point here is if you don't want to have and plan New Year resolutions, right? Because resolutions is a really heavy word. Then don't, because I know change is hard, but we have to pivot. And if we just make small changes that can take 5 to 10 minutes a day, that's how progress is made. Okay. So everything hard that's happened last year is a positive lesson that we can take and then we can learn and get better from. So I choose to focus on the challenges as something that helps me get moving, right? Because we have to get uncomfortable in order to move. And how are we going to use this and get better next year? So let's talk about strategies. Okay. So strategies to help you make the next year amazing. So number one, I am encouraging you to do something as simple as a memories jar. I actually have mine here. Here we go. As an example, okay? I have mine. It is a container from a dollar store, okay? And you can use this with pretty much anything, okay? Don't overcomplicate it, because when people think to overcomplicate things, they're not doing it. Just grab a jar, put a lid on it, put a pretty sticker on it, okay? And each week you're going to take a piece of paper. It could be a sticky note, it can be an index card, anything that you have in your stationary area. And you're going to write a good thing that has happened that week, right? Something that you are grateful for, a fun memory to keep for your family, something that maybe was said by your friend, whatever it is. And then you're going to fold that paper and put it in your jar, okay? When you're done writing with it. And then on New Year's Eve, with next year, we're getting ready to celebrate and welcome 2022. You're going to open up that jar and you're going to read those memories. And those positive things are going to bring a smile to your face, and it's going to make you feel good to remember all the good things that happened. Okay. And as a bonus, if you get another jar, a second jar just like that, it's another great way of saving money, right? Every week when you write a note and you put it in one jar, you're going to take and put $10 in your second jar. And that means that by mid-November, you should have about $400 in cash in your second jar, which is a great pot of money to help you with your buying presents for the holiday season, or you can use it as a rainy day fund, right? You can put that in your savings account. So I hope that you take something out of this workshop, something as simple as a glass container where you can put some notes about something that's happened that was good. It will help you get through and remember about all the good things that happened this year. All right, next, we're going to start 2021 right financially. This is the website that you can go to request your credit report. Whether you're going to be buying something or not, you need to be responsible. You need to know what is on your credit report, right? You need to know what your credit score is. This is a website that allows you to pull your credit 3 times, okay, from each agency for free. My suggestion to you is space it out. Order one in March, another one in August, and then the third one in December. This way you have your whole year covered, okay? And it's important to know, because if your car breaks down and you need to go buy a new car, if you have a good financial health, you have a good credit, you're going to get the best interest rate on the financing for your car, as an example. Next, let's talk about some of the simple things to make your life a little bit easier, all right? I am always all about efficiency, how to make my life easier, how to make sure that, you know, my kids are not saying, oh, we ran out of snacks, I am hungry, or I'm thirsty, or whatever it might be, all right? So I kind of thought about some of the things that made sense for me that I want to share with you. So number one, have a notepad on your fridge. I use it as a grocery list, as reminders, thoughts, and more. And I told my girls, if you see something that is running low in the refrigerator, don't tell me, because I may not remember after I leave the kitchen. I need you to write it down on a notepad. If you want me to do research something for you, you need me to order something for you, I need you to write me a sticky note and put it in my planner, put it on my computer, or put it on that notepad on the fridge, okay? Quick declutter. Decluttering is big at this time of the year because everybody's trying to get a fresh start. And what I have found is that people think that decluttering means you have to do your whole house. Absolutely not. Here's a great tip that I have for you. It's called quick declutter, right? So use your waiting time from when you're waiting for a pot of coffee that's brewing. If you're making dinner and you're waiting for your pasta, right? That's 7 to 10 minutes right there. If you're waiting for a family member to get out of the shower, there's a commercial break on TV, right? We all don't like those. Take those 2 minutes or 10 minutes and do a quick declutter, because you know that you only have that small slot. And if you're in the kitchen because you're waiting for your pasta to cook, Then just look around and say, okay, quickly, what can I do? I can unload the dishwasher. I can load the dishwasher. I can clear some of my counters. I can make piles of things to go upstairs or in the back room or whatever, right? So this is one of the great ways for you to tie something that you do and you have to wait anyway, right? To making progress and doing something that you wanted to do, right? And when we make progress and we do something, our brain is very happy because it actually sees making progress. Clean out your medicine cabinet. Beginning of the year, okay, it's always a fresh start. So I encourage you to look through your medicine cabinet and throw away all of the medicine that has been expired. Also, take a look at all of your makeup and lotions. It's a great time to throw those things away, right? Because the makeup and lotions, none of those things are refrigerated. That means there's lots of chemicals inside. So take advantage of the month of January as a fresh start so you can buy yourself some fresh things, okay? I know that it's not recommended for you to flush the medicine down the drain. So the recommendation is you can take it to CVS or Walgreens, or you can actually take it to your police department. Some of them recycle medications as well. All right, here I am sharing with you my favorite cleaning tools, okay? I discovered some of them last year because I was following some companies on social media, and I ended up buying some of the products that were recommended, and I am very, very happy with them. I have the little Bissell cleaner, I have the mop, and these are some of the products. Dawn, if you didn't know, can be used as a stain remover for laundry and for apparently like a million other things. So I'm still learning all of those, but yes, I have started buying some of those things. So here's a great list for you, as well as the links if you want to order these products right on Amazon. All right, tools in the box and how to make sure that your car is prepared for next year. I divided this in two categories: the humans that we drive and we are in the car versus what we need for our car to make sure that it's safe and secure. Okay, for humans, I kind of thought back and said, okay, what have I needed? And I wanted to make sure that I never need again because it's always going to be in my car. And what I have is I actually have a toolbox in my car, and then I have a box, right? So toolbox and an extra box with these things. Okay, so think back on, if you have small kids, you may want to stock up on more of these things, but toilet paper, paper towels, neutral snacks have been key for me, my children. If you are, like, for example, if I get really hungry and I don't eat right away, I get headaches. So I solve that problem by making sure I have neutral snacks in my car all the time. This way, if I did not eat before I had to run out, I can grab my snacks that are going to hold me over, which means that it's not going to ruin the rest of my day because I get a migraine. Okay. I always have a case of water, wipes, trash bags, hand sanitizer, Ziploc bags, and of course, my car registration, insurance card, car manual, and shopping bags in my car. And in my toolbox, besides the things that I need as a realtor, because I carry a full stack of tools that I may need for my clients. I also have jumper cables, air pressure gauge, first aid kit, absolutely, flashlights, WD-40, and then a basic toolkit that you see listed. You never know when you might need to use those things. Think of them as something that is not needed right now, but if it is needed later and you never know when, you will be really glad that you put them in your car. Insurance coverage. So what we're talking about here is this is the time, month of January, is to call your insurance broker and check with them and review your coverage. It's extremely important. People never do this. It just gets renewed every 6 months, but you need to make sure that the information that the insurance carrier has is appropriate, right? For example, if you put in new siding or new roof on your house last year, you need to let your insurance company know, because that can actually help you save money and reduce your insurance premium. Okay. If you added a trampoline, if you added a pool, your insurance carrier needs to know that. Make sure that you ask about different endorsements. It's very important because some things don't get covered automatically. So we have listed them here for you. And if you want us to send you an insurance guide that we provide to our clients, we have a link here listed for you as well. We're more than happy to do that. Get your documents in order. I see this all the time when my clients are in the middle of a fire, right? Not literal fire, but issues. Someone got sick, someone had a stroke, and things have changed overnight. And then the family starts frantically running around. And a lot of the times, our team gets caught right in the middle of it. And we ask for certain documentations that we need to help them, and family has no idea where it is. They have no way of trying to find out because maybe their loved one, our client, is not able to speak, for example. Okay. So this is the time to do and review some of these things that none of us want to think about. However, those are extremely important. Okay. Do you have all the important documents stored somewhere in a safe place, right? These things that are sometimes difficult to replace easily, right? Like birth and death certificates, marriage certificates, deeds to the property, mortgage information, insurance information, a list of all of your bank accounts and how to reach them. Okay, so we have some of these things that are listed here. Also, who are your team members? These are the the professionals that help you get all your things together. Okay, we also listed some things here in terms of if you're thinking about buying a home this year, this is documents that you're going to need to get a mortgage. Right. There's also a list of documents here that we have for you is when you are ready to do your tax returns, this is the forms that you're going to need. Right. So starting sometime around February, my recommendation to you is get a separate folder, a physical folder. And as all of your 1099s and your W-2s and all of your documents come in the mail, or you get an email stating they're ready, you need to print them out, either save them in your virtual folder or you need to put them in the physical folder. So that way you will be ready to go for your tax season and not have to wait until April 10th to do your taxes because you're missing some forms and you don't know where to get them. And then you have to wait for the institution to get them to you. Now, inventory of your belongings. This is a great time to kind of assess what you have. A picture that I have here is actually a picture of a physical house 3 streets down from a good friend of mine. The family went out to dinner. The husband forgot to put out his cigar that he had left on the porch. They came back to that. Okay. And then what happens is a insurance adjuster comes in and they're like, well, we need to know, what was your personal items in the home, furniture and things like that. And then people are getting even more stressed because they don't remember, right? They start to close their eyes and they're trying to visualize and think, what did they have in their home? Again, these are the things that we don't want to think about, but is extremely important because you never know if it may happen or not. And we definitely want to be prepared. Okay. You can do a video with your phone. You can take pictures of every room with your phone and then store it somewhere safe. And we also recommend that you have a home inventory spreadsheet. We have some suggestions here for you and you can download it when you head to this link that we have listed for you. So it's always to be prepared than be not or under prepared for sure. Let's talk about a little bit of home maintenance. I am very big on having my clients and you being responsible homeowners because we realize that buying a home, it is most of the time the biggest investment that you make. And you want to make sure that you take care of your investment, right? So winter is a great time to schedule and do some of the repairs and have the contractors come out, as I mentioned to you before, because some contractors are not as busy as they usually are in spring and summer. Update and replace your heating, your furnace filter, vacuum the back of your refrigerator. You'll be surprised. This is where a lot of things break first. So pull out your fridge and then vacuum the back of it and then clean out your dryer vent. Dryer vent is the number one cause of fires at homes. Okay, this is actually one of the dryer vents that we helped client do in the fall when they were moving out, because the inspector actually made a note of it and we couldn't believe how much lint was stuck inside. So consider doing some of these things. These are not hard. This is something that you can do yourself. Again, YouTube to the rescue. You can watch the videos on how to do that. All right, so this is what I wanted to share with you for lessons for 2020. and what we're going into 2021. I hope you found this information helpful. We host between 4 and 6 different workshops every month. So please check our schedule on Live with Olga on what we have for this month and then what's happening next month. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post a lot of our copies of our workshops and recordings right on there, so that way you can watch them when you want, right? And again, it's on YouTube, so it's absolutely free. And please let us know if you would like copies of the documents that we mentioned to you, including the home maintenance checklist. It is, you don't have to worry about or think about it. It's monthly, quarterly, and yearly maintenance of your home. And if we can help you in any other way in terms of concierge services, home updating consultation, we're here for you as members of the community. So I'm going to stop sharing and ask if anybody has any questions, and I hope that you found this helpful. You are welcome to type in your question in the chat as well if there's anything else.
I found it very helpful.
Hi, Anne.
Hi, I'm going to get that spreadsheet about what I have in each room and also look up about cleaning the dryer vent, things like that. I would.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll get that out to you, no problem.
I do appreciate all the information you give all the time.
Thank you.
I'm never too old to learn something.
Absolutely. I agree. I think we learn something new just about every day.
Yeah, I'll second what Anne said. This was very helpful, and there were a lot of things that I just never had thought about.
Good. Thank you, Heather. All right, everybody, you have a great afternoon. We will get you a copy of this recording as well as the workbook. So that way you will have links and the checklist to everything that we talked about today. We hope to see you again at our next workshop. But for today, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.